It says the early morning of the 28th of November, the 20-year-old National Guard woman that was shot in the head in D.C., well, she passed away. The 24-year-old is fighting for his life. Now, they were shot, according to what was reported, with a .357 Magnum. That's a very vicious round. And par for the course, Trump's knee-jerk reaction. Trump calls for a halt on review of Afghan immigration requests. Now, this shooter, I think he's 29 years old. He used to work for the government, specifically the CIA in Afghanistan. Now, what do we know about the CIA? Remember what Mike Pompeo said when he headed up the CIA? We lie, we cheat, we steal. And we train others to do it. We even have training classes. Let's listen to this short 3-minute clip.
Our correspondent Dana Marie McNichol is in West Palm Beach tonight with the president. Good evening, Dana Marie.
Good evening and happy Thanksgiving, Aisha. President Trump spent the day golfing before returning back to Mar-a-Lago, where he celebrated Thanksgiving alongside First Lady Melania, of course, monitoring any updates coming from D.C. on that tragic shooting.
2 members of the National Guard serving in Washington, D.C., were shot at point-blank range in a monstrous ambush-style attack just steps away from the White House. I am determined to ensure that the animal who perpetrated this atrocity pays the steepest possible price.
Attorney General Pam Bondi says they are seeking the death penalty for the 29-year-old Afghan national who drove all the way from Washington state to shoot at our National Guard troops point blank. This morning, the FBI says this is now an international terrorism investigation because the suspect did have a relationship with U.S. military forces in Afghanistan. Now, today, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services said effective immediately, the processing of all immigration requests relating to Afghan nationals is stopped indefinitely, pending review of security and vetting protocols. And new this afternoon, the agency announced the president himself directed a rigorous re-examination of the status of every green card alien from every country of concern. President Trump said the suspect's status was extended under legislation signed by President Biden.
We're not going to put up with these kind of assaults on law and order by people who shouldn't even be in our country. We must now re-examine every single alien who has entered our country from Afghanistan under Biden.
And Aisha, in about 20 minutes, the president has a planned phone call with U.S. service military members from every single branch in places like Arizona, California, Puerto Rico, and Texas. So I know that they're waiting for that message from the president, and hopefully we can bring that as well. Aisha.
We will, certainly. Dana Marie, thank you very much.
Well, you heard what that dope had to say, huh? He's the guy that pulled our military out of Afghanistan. And he's the guy that left $1 billion worth of military hardware in Afghanistan. Later on, when Joe took office, they pulled out the rest of them. And Trump's the one that caused it to begin with. Dope. Absolute dope. And how do you get better vetting than somebody that worked for the CIA? You know, that organization, that criminal dysfunctional organization. Not a whole lot different than the FBI being led by cross-eyed Kash Patel. Let me know what you think. You know what dopey Trump thinks. What about Melania sharing Thanksgiving with them after he bragged about banging his aide? Huh? She's just a dumb whore. You don't want to hear it? Don't listen.